Stephanie.
I'm Allison.
And this is a channel about cross stitch. And this is our, I don't know what number of floss tube, but it's good. We've been doing a lot of floss.
I'm back. I wasn't at the last one.
Oh yeah, you were at the last extra, but you weren't. So buckle up. She's got a lot to show.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. I don't have that many things.
No,
but I have.
They're all impressive.
They're done.
It's like, oh my gosh, if you just don't do 50 whips, you focus on 5, they go really far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 kinds of videos on our channel. This is a floss tube. We've already mentioned that we have floss tube extras. They're things that we don't have time for in these videos because they're already on the long side. Last week's we did the announcement for our Make It Murder Stitch Along. I do have a Murder House update that I have not even told you.
I'm excited. She would not tell me.
I wouldn't. I was like, I want to tell you on camera because it's not like the biggest update, but it is like, okay, something is happening. So if you've been paying attention to the Murder House mystery that I posted about in our last floss tube and that we talked about at Midsummer Stitch, there is an update, and if you're not up to date on that, it is in our most recent floss tube, the one that's just me by myself. I told the whole story, so I have another update today. I think it has Murder House update in the title. So our next floss tube extra, we're gonna switch our schedule up a little bit. Next Monday and the Monday after that, we're going to have a full finished parade of everything we finished in the last year since we started Flosstube, and most of it, almost all of it, will be FFO'd because we're going to film it right before we cart all of it to the state fair because we literally entered everything. So we were like, well, let's just get this all on film before we take it to the state fair. And then, but I'm going to split that into 2 videos. 1, because I don't know how long it will be, and 2, we're going to be showing at least 44 finished pieces between the 2 of us. So we're just going to break it into 2 videos. So next Monday will be Finished Parade Part 1. Most of them FFO'd.
Yeah. And
then next Monday will be FFO.
I will be
Part 2.
Most of mine between now and then.
I have 5 still left to do, yeah. So that's Labor Day weekend here in the U.S. will be Parade Part 2. Then the next Monday will be our next floss tube, our full floss tube, and that will be our 1-year floss tube anniversary celebration. And I've got some patterns that I'm excited about for the giveaway for that. Today we're announcing who won the $25 Etsy card from our 4,000 subscriber giveaway, and we have another giveaway for today, but we do giveaways at the end. So the next couple weeks, our schedule is going to be a little bit different, but typically we would do floss tube extra, floss tube extra. This time we're going to do floss tube extra, extra, floss tube. And then on Thursdays, we normally come out with short beginner tutorials. Those are to help people who buy patterns from our Etsy shop, but also they're for anyone. And last week we did how to use a needle minder, like what's a needle minder and how to use one. And the comments were great. And we listed a bunch of places that we buy them, and that was fun. And then normally we would do a tutorial this time, but we're actually going to skip the tutorial this week because we got an advanced copy of this awesome cross stitch book,
Yay!
Magical Cross Stitch, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later today. And then on Thursday, we're going to have a flip through for you so you can see all the patterns. So if you are somebody who likes to see what all the patterns are before you buy a book, that will look for that on Thursday. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And then next week it'll be back to educational topics on Thursdays. So yeah. Okay, Allison, you haven't been here, so you got a lot. We are going to flip the order a little bit. We always start with like mentions and things, which I'm going to do. We're going to do kindness right after that because we just got some really nice kindness, and I want to make sure I don't want to be so tired at the end of it that I forget something. All right, so mentions. Peggy from Peggy Still Stitching responded to your monogamous stitcher video, and it was really good because she was a monogamous stitcher too, and multi-project stitching. She would run into that situation where then you just don't want to stitch for a while after you finish yours, or you don't know if you have permission to quit a piece you don't like, which isn't something we really talked about, but I know it's something it's like how you almost would stitch something twice rather than give yourself permission to quit.
Because you pick it for a reason.
Yeah.
You want that piece. So like do you give up or do you keep going until it's what you want it to be?
So that was interesting because for you, it made you so nostalgic for the wins that you got with monogamous stitching. And for her, it was like, oh yeah, this is why I'm a multi-project stitcher now, and this is what works best for me. But she talked about she talked about money aspects of it too that I mentioned after we were done. I was like, oh, I forgot to talk about how expensive being a multi-project stitcher can get comparatively. So that video was really good. So go check that out if that's a topic you're interested in. Criminally Creative recommended our Make It Murder Sal video for anyone who's interested in that. And a lot of people are not going to be joining, but are excited to watch what happens, and that is equally encouraged.
That's great.
Chelsea from Sound Mind Stitching recommended us, and I'll talk more about her later in Whip Parades. I'd Rather Be Stitching. She showed this on Instagram too, but she used your how to stitch on canvas video to make a really cute little prop. So she stitched on a canvas bag, and it's really cute. Yeah. And then the Farm on Highway J and Ellie from Stitch and Beat also mentioned our channel. So thank you, ladies. And then we like to congratulate people who have are celebrating something. When a channel is celebrating an anniversary or a milestone, it's a great time to go find them because a lot of times that's the time when a channel will take a beat and reintroduce themselves. And so it's a great time to find new people. Hobbies of Holly hit 4,000 subscribers. Annie from Needle in the Hay XO hit 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations, Annie. Dark X Stitch hit 1,000 subscribers. Nice. She's British, and I don't hear her mentioned on as many channels because as I watch, because I think a lot of the channels are either full coverage or not full coverage, and she's a full coverage stitcher. She just finished a really cute soda stitch, but she does a lot of full coverage stitching. And Dark X Stitch, she does a lot of modern and dark themed cross stitch. So if that's something you're interested in, or if you just like watching that and not stitching it, I would definitely recommend checking her out. DNA Geek Crafts hit 500 subscribers. Beck from Beck's Friend, our friend Beck, hit 500 subscribers. Yes. And Stitchy Mommy hit 14,000. Oh wow. Yeah. And I have used many a Stitchy Mama tutorial.
Oh, I like a Stitchy Mommy, yeah.
And then for anniversaries, Samantha the Hugo Stitcher hit 3 years. And I'll talk more about her in Whip Parades. Tara from Wilda Woman Crafts hit 2 years.
That's awesome.
Which is awesome. And Stitching Out just hit 1 year on Flosstube. Oh, and the Monogamous Cross Stitcher hit 1 year on Flosstube. So
nice.
Congratulations. Yeah. And then birthdays, Andrew the Runner Stitcher.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Phoebe from Moonshine Stitchery and Stephanie from Lindy Stitches all celebrated their birthday. So
wonderful. Happy birthday, guys.
Those are all great channels. We link to every channel we mention. We write down every pattern. We list every shop. So go check them out. They will be in the description. All right. Kindness.
I got some kindness.
I got some kindness too. Okay. Do you want to do let's mention the book because I already kind of entered it, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right. So Lindsay Swearingen wrote Creepy Cross Stitch, which is a book that's been out for a while, and a lot of people have stitched from it. And Allison is actually entering one of her Creepy Cross Stitches in the State Fair, which we're pumped about. Mm-hmm. So Lindsay asked us if we would like a copy of the book, and we were like, yes, please, and can we show it? And she was like, yeah, you can show it. So I know that this has been going around Instagram. It's so good. I'm started thumbing through when I got it and deciding what I'm going to stitch, and then Allison and I will have to take turns with it, but that's okay. But we're going to do a whole flip through that's going to come out on Thursday, but look at those bookmarks. And every project was model stitched on Aida. They would obviously look great on linen, but if it's Aida friendly, I know that was a question someone had, was is this Aida friendly? Even if it wasn't, if it had you do stitches, specialty and half stitches on Aida all the time, but all the models were done in Aida. So if that's something you're worried about, yeah. So
maybe there needs to be a tutorial on how to stitch specialty stitches on Aida.
That would be great.
Because if you know that pre-starting it, you can wash it as much as you need to, because you pierce it better if it's softer.
We should definitely do that. We should do that as an extra. Yeah. Because it's some people I think their eyes glaze over the tutorial because they're I'm not a beginner. Yeah. But a lot of Aida stitchers are not beginners, but maybe are afraid to dip their toe into the world of
specialty.
Yeah. So okay, so look for this on Thursday. And Lindsay, thank you so much
very excited about this.
Allison hasn't even seen it yet. Part of the flip through is going to be...
She's brought it over and she's like, okay, we'll see it later. We're going to do a whole flip through.
We're going to do a flip through, but Allison has not seen any of the patterns other than what she's seen on Instagram and what I just showed. So that will be super fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Erin from Cat on Creations, Steel City Stitchers, said something that I haven't gotten to see yet.
Okay, so I opened the wrong one.
That's okay.
We both came to my house, so that one is yours. Okay. And
yeah, Erin sent them to both to Allison's house because it makes no sense to ask her to pay double shipping when I can just drive over here. But I didn't come pick it up early because I was like, well, I'll be there on Sunday. But I'm so excited. So if you guys remember, we have those little kittens, and mine is actually the one that I have right now. I keep it in my purse. And whenever I have emergency stitching that I have to do, I 100% found time, wouldn't bring out a normal project. This was the little umbrella girl. Allison and I both finished her. And I have some more spring kits, but I haven't pulled any out because they're like springy.
Yeah.
And so then Erin released her fall ones.
They're so cute.
And asked us if we wanted fall ones. And I was like, absolutely, I want fall ones because I love stitching it, and I'll save my spring ones for next spring. And I'm not going to show the patterns, but Erin has previews of all the fall patterns up. But just look at these color palettes. They're very, very fall. And I picked out apples. I picked out a cabin. I picked out that one too. There's a cute little truck. And then the kits, the actual kits, it comes with the fabric that you need, the floss that you need, and then it also comes with a wooden tag. I should just get it out.
There's a wooden tag. There's even a needle in here.
And so there's a wooden tag with instructions on how to finish it. So if you're somebody who's working on a Halloween tree, which I have one Halloween ornament not FFO'd yet, but oh my God. So,
these are my favorite scissors. They're perfect for your bag.
Oh, they're so great.
You don't have to worry about it messing with your fabric.
Okay, so I'm so excited about this. I'm not even explaining all of this right. Okay, so what the kitten comes with, if you get the whole kitten, is it comes with 4 patterns you pick out. She has 20 or 25, and you pick out 4 you want. It comes with those. It comes with the needle that you need, scissors, and then it also comes with a needle minder that she makes.
I know. I opened it. It's so cute.
Guys, ignore my nails. I know this is 4 videos in a row where I've had bad nails. Since I moved, I can't find my nail polish and remover. I refuse to buy new nail polish remover when I have a full bottle. So I just have terrible nails. Anyway, so what you do is you have everything you need, and then you get the 4 little kits. And what I do is I put I take the contents of one kit and put it in the kitchen, and then I put the other kits in my dashboard so that I'm never without stitching.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Now that I have 2 kittens, okay, I think
one stays in the car.
One stays in the car.
There you go.
Yeah. That way you're literally never without. Because there
without.
was one time where I had switched purses and I didn't have my kitten in my purse and did have time to stitch.
Yeah. I remember the one time I took it out of my purse was we went to the theater, and the last time we had gone to the theater, they checked our purses, and what they found was the kitten. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should just take it out.
So, yeah, so you get all of this. And if you're somebody who's working on seasonal trees, it's great. I don't stitch a ton in hand, and I don't stitch a ton on 14 count white Aida, but I do with these. But if you didn't want to, you could easily put in your own little scrap of some other kind of fabric, and you'd be fine. But I showed you guys the one I had. Oh,
it helps that the Aida's a little bit stiffer, and it helps if you don't have a hoop or something to put it in.
But you could totally do something else. But because you were trying to make it so that it's so small, you don't want to have a hoop. So,
yeah.
I'm so excited. Mm-hmm. So, and I know actually somebody who purchased a kitten after we showed them. Did buy 2, and so I think it's a great idea. I'm very excited about it.
It's a good idea, yeah.
And look, it's her little cute logo. So Erin, the person who makes them is Erin, who is one of the Steel City Stitchers that runs their fabulous retreat and has their Flosstube. And you can follow her on Instagram. And then the company is Cat on Creation. You can follow her on Instagram to see all of them. And then she'll have winter releases, and then she'll have some more spring releases. I have 3 spring kits I can do still.
Yes.
And then on our free summer patterns video, she released a super cute little summer pattern that's in that video. So you can also go to her Instagram to get the free little rocket pop pattern, which I wanted to stitch this summer and I never did. I need to. I need to kit it up for myself in one of those, so it's just there with the others for next summer.
Maybe you just pull it out in the middle of winter and think of the hot, beautiful weather.
Well, I decided next year I'm going to do a Christmas ornament whip go from the Jingle Ball books. But then I was thinking, okay, well, if I do 25 Christmas ornaments next year, then the next year I could do like 25 Halloween ornaments, and then I could do like 25 spring ornaments, so I could get a seasonal tree going, each year, pick a new thing. But then these are also great little ornaments to put as part of that. Yeah. And it's for me, it's totally found time that I wouldn't be stitching anything else.
Yeah.
So, which one's all? So you got the truck, and you got the.
I got the squirrel.
Oh.
And I got a pumpkin, and I got a fox.
Oh. Also, if you want any of the past ones, she does take all the patterns for the season and release it as a PDF on her Etsy store. So you order the kits through her Instagram link to like a Google spreadsheet. But if you want any of the past ones, you can buy them in her Etsy store. But they're like all together, so you get every pattern.
Nice.
I'm so excited. Okay, but we even got a little more kindness than that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of a fun week for the.
I have one. I don't know if I told you I have it.
You go next, and then I'll tell you the next one.
Okay. My friend Fanny sent me a present.
Oh, I did not hear about this. No,
she sent me a present.
That sneaky girl.
I was in such a bad mood, and we were talking about things that.
Oh, you were gonna buy this,
and I was gonna buy it.
Then when we put it on 1, 2, 3 Stitch where you didn't order it, and I thought that was interesting.
I was gonna buy it, and I mentioned it to Fanny how much I liked it, and she goes, "Don't buy it, don't buy it. I'll buy it for you." It was just the nicest thing. I was having a bad day. She goes, "I can't do this for every bad day, but the one I can."
Oh,
I know.
These are so cute.
And I'm really excited to stitch some of those. I want to start. Well, there's one that's for September, which is coming up. That is a sunflower.
I love sunflowers.
Caroline's Stitch Corner is doing Sunflower September.
I'm behind on
my favorite flower.
And she has 2 videos. Caroline has 2 videos that I need to watch, and I'm behind on both of them.
Yeah.
I started finally taking videos in my feed that I know I'm not gonna watch and hiding them so that my feed is really more like a watch later, because you just can't watch everything all the time. But I know Caroline has 2 videos sitting in my to watch list.
Okay, well, surprise. Everyone's joining Caroline for Sunflower September. And I think I need to too.
I wonder, do I have any patterns with sunflowers in them? I'm not starting anything new because I can't start anything new, but.
I have a free one that's a sunflower
Yeah, we have it in our video.
Yeah.
But no, I can't. I'm not allowed to start
anything. Thank you, Fanny. That was so sweet. Oh, Stitchy Kindness is.
She's part of the Soul Stitchers on YouTube, and she's Cross Stitch Couture on
Instagram.
And she's Allison's Cross Stitch Work Wife.
Yes.
If you didn't know.
She's my Frenchier half.
If you're new here. Allison's like, Fanny's giving me a tour of her refrigerator right now. This is so interesting. I'm like, life is wild when you don't have children.
Excuse me. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
I was like, that looks very French. It
was super French. It was all so
delicious.
Good.
Yeah.
I immediately made my husband go buy some French cheese. So he only found brie. She was like, he's only gonna find brie.
I know. There's a Mediterranean import store in Oklahoma City that has Bulgarian cheeses and stuff. And because France is on the Mediterranean, I bet they carry some French varieties.
Maybe looking into, because she told me, surprise, surprise, American French cheese is toned down because Americans can't handle European French cheese.
I don't know if can't handle it. We have a different sense. It's like if I go over there, the Coke is slightly different. It's like everything's just
slightly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now I'm on a mission to find this real French stinky cheese.
We'll just have to go to France.
No, I don't think so. It's not in the budget.
Not this year, but we'll just have to go to France.
Yeah.
All right. So the next Stitchy Kindness, which I didn't even know about that, is my friend Jen. Oh, it's down here. Okay. I don't think I even told you about this. I don't think I told you. My friend Jen from Jen's Fiber Web put up that she was adopting out a whip. And it happened to be a whip that was literally on my 1, 2, 3 Stitch wish list.
Which one?
Cinnamon Stars by Plum
Really?
Samplers.
Oh, no, you did not tell me about
I
that.
didn't tell you about this at all. So, I happened to see it because I am I'm too online sometimes. And I was like, oh my god, I totally want that because I actually have this. Like, I literally had to delete it from my 1, 2, 3 Stitch wish list after I got it.
Nice.
So, but not only did she send me the pattern, but she actually sent me her whip. So I have, it's not the called for fabric, but it's like a similar one. And
oh wow, she got into it. She's
like, I'm done with it.
Wow.
So she said her stitching is wonky. I don't notice it, but she might just be a much better stitcher than me, so that like I just don't notice.
I'm not going to analyze her stitching, but it is beautiful.
No, I mean, to me, her stitching looks beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't. But sometimes you see
great.
things in your own stitching you would never see in someone else's.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm literally going to just pick up where she left off. So
Yeah.
I can't enter it in the fair because it won't be all of my work. But it will be.
Does that mean you can't enter your own Robin pieces?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Makes sense.
And then she sent me all the flosses. She said a couple were subbed, but yeah, that like.
That was really nice.
Yeah. So, because, like, you know, you could just, like, de-kit it and just give away the pattern. So that was really sweet. Okay, but then she also sent this October 31st.
Oh, that's a really fun one.
Yeah, and it's one of those that's, like, you see it all the time, but I never thought to buy it for myself. But now that I have it, I'm like, well, I'm obviously going to stitch that sometime.
For sure.
And then this nice octopus card.
Oh.
And then scissors.
Wow.
This cool washi tape, this little cool button.
Aw.
And this says sending you big duck energy. So, like, yeah, so like not only did I get her whip, but I got a nice little package too. And oh, it's like perfect time of year to start that pattern. Somebody has a sale going on. Might be Caroline, because I feel like Caroline and Alex have
Is that
all
her
the sales.
birthday? Yeah.
There's one that's like stitched something with stars, but Cinnamon Stars
Cinnamon
is
Stars
the example.
the one. Yeah, I think it was her birthday.
So, but I hadn't planned on like putting any stitches in August, but once September rolls around, because we're doing our family, so our parents decided we were going to do our trip after all to Port Aransas. Well, our mom and our other sister basically were like, no, this is happening. And my dad was like, fine. But you're not going and our brother's not going. So, but normally, or most of the time you would be there. Some years you choose not to, but some years you go. And so I'm still in summer mood because I'm like looking forward to a beach vacation. Whereas this time last year I was like ready for fall stitching.
I'm definitely ready for fall stitching.
So I'm like, okay, well I'm going to keep doing summer whips at least through Labor Day weekend and that trip. And then when I get back, I'll probably be ready for the next thing. Okay. But we also got one more thing. People were like way insanely nice this week. Okay, so Beck from Beck's Bin, she has a Flosstube channel. She actually passed 500 subscribers, which I mentioned, so I don't know why I'm saying it like I just telling you for the first time when I'm obviously telling you for the second time. Anyway, she runs estate sales, and so lots of times she comes across cool crafty stuff that she knows how to resell, but sometimes it's just stuff where it's like, it's cool, but like, it's not, yeah. So she knows that I love the vintage hoops, and I talked about the metal ones in that video. So she sent me some metal ones and shapes and sizes that I don't really have. I have a bunch of these, but I don't have a good one of these, I don't think. And then this size is one I don't have too, but they're all like great, and they're all in great shape. And then these kind of vintage ones, and I was thinking, do you want these?
Sure.
Like, these are vintage hoops, but they're the screw top ones.
Yeah, that's what I stitch with.
But I will often give my vintage screw tops to Allison because she will use them. Because for me, they would just be in the bucket, but for you, you'll use them. But then look at this one. She said, I think she said they thinks this one was more for like finishing pieces.
Oh, weird.
So this is not a kind. So, okay, so I have not shown these kinds on our channel before. So this is like, this is a vintage hoop. If you see this, these are older. And a lot of times on the older ones, the wood will just be a better quality. You can kind of decide for yourself on each one if they are or not, but a lot of times they are. And then she said she thought this was maybe from the 60s, but it's like a rubber, it's like a fake wood rubber thing. I think it'd be cool to finish something
That
in
would
this.
be really cool, yeah.
Because it would look really good. But anyway, so thank you so much. And then she sent you a little thing that...
oh, yeah. She, along with probably everybody else on Flosstube, knows that I have a love of Cinderella, and she got me this cute Cinderella. It's like a necklace. Let's see, there you go. It's a necklace, and I'm going to turn it into... She suggested a zipper pull, which I think is a really good idea.
And then she also sent this cute little needles with a little charm for, I think for Beck's bed, I would assume the B is for.
Thank you.
So thank you guys. Thank you, Beck. Thank you.
So sweet.
Yeah, so check out Jen and Beck's Flosstubes. They're both great. And then Erin from Cat on Creations, Steel City Stitchers if you're not watching them. And then also her Instagram is where you find the 10s. Soul Stitchers. Love them.
Yeah.
And then look for more about this on Thursday. Allison, did you have any fully finished objects?
I have several, but I'm only showing one.
Okay.
Because we're going to do the finished parade.
Okay.
And you'll see them.
Oh, I'll just leave mine here then.
Yeah.
Since we're going to do that next week.
Okay. I'll show you this one. Because it was one of the very first times I've ever framed anything. This is the Witch's Cabinet. It's from Witch's Garden. It was a stitch along, a mystery stitch along from Witch's Garden Crafts. And we did it together last October.
I have 1,500 stitches left.
She's so close. She just needs to finish
I'll finish it.
And so I am entering it in the fair. This is one of the very first things I've ever framed myself because I'm a believer in using professional help when we don't know what to do.
We love a trip to the framers. I think next year, if we're better about like taking them as they're rolling off the assembly line, because we both were like, well, we're not spending $700 on framing this week. But if you spend a little bit at a time, it feels like less.
Yeah.
Also, if you bring in your own frames, like if you still do the thrifted frame and take it in.
Well, that's just it. I didn't have any frames either, so I went and thrifted like 20 frames in like one sitting. So they are what they are, even if they're not great.
Oh, I love it.
It's not even like the real picture is still under there. I just put it on top of it.
Are you thinking about any of taking them? There's at least one of mine that I'm going to take in to get professionally framed after the fair. Are you thinking
this one? Not. No, I like this frame enough. I mean, it's a cool like metal.
Yeah,
looking.
I like it.
Frame.
If you ever wanted to change, you could pop it out.
Definitely not professionally framed.
Spray paint this like black or something, and then put it back in.
Yeah.
But right now it's like it's kind of we're both in like a get it so that it can be on the wall, like just a little over the FFOing.
The corners are wonky. You can tell that it's pinned if you look closely.
Who cares?
It's okay.
It's what it is.
It's okay. But I will get better, and I'll have a lot of practice.
Yeah.
So.
And also, if you're like, oh, I want to do this for myself, but I'm not gonna wait till I need to do 10 at once. It's also a little easier.
And this isn't a stitch I'm particularly attached to.
No, it was cool and fun, and
it was a game, and I have a souvenir from my game.
But it's not like the.
But yeah.
So that was a great one to do as your like
in the living room or
first stitch.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with it when you're done?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet because it is so poorly.
I think if you popped it out, okay.
I didn't even use glue on anything.
Okay, so for
I literally take this.
I don't normally use glue in framing. I did have a glue situation with the frame that is I'll tell you about in a minute. But if you pop it out, clean the frame up, spray paint the frame a cool color, and then take it in. They could like
really
frame it, yeah. Or you might be like, you know what, I'm gonna get a slightly bigger one.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
The mission is get them into the fair, and then the next mission is okay. Now that we have them, are these in the final form we want them in, or do we? Because I have already. I'll just show you guys mine that needs changes, but okay. Because here's the thing: is I absolutely love parts of it. Okay, so this is a thrifted frame. Now, this did come off. in the framing of it, and I glued it back together with Gorilla Glue gel, which did not hold, as you can see, but did get all over my fingers to a point where I couldn't stitch anymore that night. I couldn't because I like had to spend I had already done some stitching in the morning, so I hit my goal of stitching every day of because I want to be able to say at the end of this year I stitched every day. So I'd already stitched, but that night I spent my whole night with my hands in like a warm bowl of water, just like slowly getting the Gorilla Glue off my hands. Mm-hmm. And also, there are 3 other major issues with this framing job, but I think from like far away you can't tell it looks amazing. Like I think from far away it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Up close you can tell it's a little Frankenstein. The fabric only goes right to here on this side, so this is centered up here, but this isn't centered down here, and that's partially because it's like I could not get the wrinkles out no matter how much I ironed it. But I love it in the abstract. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duct tape this frame back together. Mm-hmm. Enter it in the fair like this. Mm-hmm. Then I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna get a custom frame for this one because I need the frame to be right up to kind of like the edges. Mm-hmm. Because there's also a giant stain right here from the iron that I did when I was like a year ago when I was finishing it. So this actually needs to be like framed like very close in, but that's not a size I could buy at the thrift store. And this thrifted frame I think looks great with this color palette. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm also doing Frosted Pumpkin Cottage by the Witchy Stitcher, which is a similar.
You've gotten 6 new messages from your husband.
Oh,
maybe you need to.
It's their family chat.
Oh.
If it was just to me, I'd be like, oh yeah, the kids are in trouble. No,
you need to,
I'll get a million more.
Okay.
So I think when I finish Frosted Pumpkin Cottage, I'm going to make sure that will go in this frame correctly because I love it. I even love this Ada, that was on the same one in this frame. Because I think this frame color brings out the like oranges better than like a black frame would or than like an orange frame would. But this piece needs to be framed differently. But for this weekend, I'm just going to tack some duct tape on the top of the back of the frame and we're going to call it that. I entered this in the Halloween category. So, but see how wrinkled it is? Mm-hmm. I could not get it out. So before I even take it in to get framed, I'm going to have to...
Maybe steam it.
Yeah. And I thought about steaming. There's another one that I have that has wrinkle issues that I thought maybe I could steam it in it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Okay, so that's FFO number 1. All right, this is my next FFO. This is Humbug. Oh, that was Baba Yaga by the Witchy Stitcher on 14 Count Rustico Ada with the called for thread. The DMC version, I think it had a DMC and a regular one, but I don't remember. All right, so this is Humbug by Liz Mathews. On the TV, I don't think you can tell, or on the video, I don't think you can tell, but I put quilt batting under it and the quilt batting glue got through to the stitching. And so there's some places where the stitching is like glued down and then also I couldn't get all the wrinkles out. And then framing it, that little tiny border, I really wish I had a frame that went up to the edge. It's fine. Mm-hmm. I think especially for like a seasonal decoration that I'm going to pull out with other seasonal stuff. Like I'm not going to reframe this one because I think I accidentally glued it and I can't really reframe it anyway. But it was a lesson in maybe I love framing full coverage cross stitch. Maybe I don't love framing things where I want the fabric to show. Yeah. And that will be next year again. Yeah. Let's get these to the professionals. Yeah. But it was a good experience, I feel like. And I still like this frame. This frame was like $2 from Goodwill.
That's very cute.
All right, so that's number 2. And I decided I'm just going to put everything up in my office, even the seasonal stuff. And then later when I have more and I don't want the seasonal stuff up all the time, I'll switch them out. So this was a frame I already had. And that actually, framing myself, I think looks great. Because that has quilt batting underneath it. Mm-hmm. And I think it looks good in this frame. It's like the white ghosts really bad on... Mm-hmm. It doesn't ghost in person.
It doesn't ghost in person at all.
It goes funny, crazy on the thing. But this frame was like a craft store frame that I bought a while ago for something else that didn't work. I wanted to do it as a pillow, but you can't. You're supposed to enter things in the fair in a way that can go on the wall, And I'm already entering that box as a box. So everything else, I was like, let me get them into things you can put on the wall.
Sure.
So getting this in though was really hard. It was like, even though I took the glass out, it really was like mad at me. And then this is Skogafoss, and I had it in a frame that I really liked. This is from the Cross Stitch of Ice and Fire book that I released in June. And for that book, I had it in a frame I liked. One of the pieces on that frame broke, and that frame could not be hung on the wall. So I was like, let me just get it in this craft store frame.
Mm.
But I like it. I think it looks good. And I'll hang it on the wall when I get home. No, I already did. I hung it on the wall last week. So I'll leave my little bit of shelf space for something that really can't be on the wall. But that was just a reframe, so that was very easy. Mm-hmm. And then this is the one I think I did the best in terms of like all the elements. Yeah. So this is, that Paris Freebie was by Histories de Lynn, and I told on the last Flosstube the whole story of why it's no longer available. So, and maybe the only stitch version of that will ever exist. Who knows? So this was a thrift store frame that was a mirror, and what I think I figured out is that go look in the mirror section for the frames too, because once you pop the mirror out, a lot of those frames are really interesting because the mirror is kind of boring, so they have more interesting frames around them, because I have a few mirrors where the frames are really cool. So I broke the mirror out of it. And then this is Pumpkin Carriage by OlwForest Embroidery. It's a free Cinderella themed pattern. And I did finish it during the Princess Birthday Sale month. I didn't start it, but I finished it. And I did it with the OlwForest threads. And when I washed the piece, the red did, I knew I was taking a risk washing it, but the red did bleed just a tiny bit in places. But from far away, you can't really tell, but up close, you can see it like around here. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I just love it in this frame so much.
Yeah.
I really would have wished it had like 1/4 inch extra around it, but it just was like, put it in this frame or not. And I was like, no, I want it in this frame. So, and then I just, on the ones that are like open back, I just glued some fabric down because I don't have any craft paper, but I was like, it's basically the same thing. So those are my FFOs. I spent a lot of time it feels like it took a really long time, but you don't get that much out of that. So, all right. And we'll have even more during the finish parade.
Yay.
All right, Allison, did you have any finishes?
Yes, I did. I had
buckle up. If you are new here. Oh.
I got 2 finishes. What are you thinking?
Okay, we'll see.
Okay. The first one I finished during
Oh no, you definitely have more. You have more finishes than that.
Where?
Do you want me to reference your Instagram account?
Yeah.
All right, we're back with Allison's 6 finishes.
Okay. So, you get to see, I wasn't going to show any of them that were FFO'd, but I've been convinced. I FFO'd this one the exact same way. What? Oh, you know what?
It pops out?
It pops
okay,
out.
then,
Like it doesn't even,
cool.
It's a square. So. Apparently I put the frame in wrong, but it's not even glued in.
So you're just going to pop it in
It's
and
just
yeah.
stuck in there.
That would be so funny if they hung it on the wall like this.
I might win.
What if you did it like this?
I might win. She's underwater.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. All right, so this is me and Mermaid.
This is me and Mermaid. I did Mia on 16 count printed Ada. I think it's called Seafoam by Stitchy. And it was a gift from Katie, Peacock Stitcher. I did it in all my own conversion. It had Karen water lilies in it, I think. And I was just like, nope, DMC. So I picked, these are the ones I picked.
And I love this frame.
Yeah, I love that frame too. I thought it looked really good in it. And I did bead it. And after beading it, I realized, the beads don't really fit. Full side beads do not fit on 16 count.
They look good though.
Well, hopefully they do. I don't know.
I think they look great.
Yeah. So this is a pattern. It's a free pattern by Mirabilia. It's in our What Parade, I think. Not What Parade.
Free summer patterns.
Free summer patterns. Yeah, it's in the free.
Which we'll link to in the description.
So you can click on their website if you want it. I don't know. I like her. I don't like her hair as much as I thought I would. I think I would have picked a lighter tone for the underneath because I think it's kind of funky.
Oh, it's just, I think it looks good. Look how light the top of your hair is, and look how dark the like shadow by your neck. Wait, this part is.
I guess so.
I actually think it's pretty good.
Thanks. Yeah. The beads in her tail, I did not want to purchase Mill Hill beads, a whole order just for her tail. So these are cross-star beads.
And then you found out those were actually more expensive.
They're actually way more expensive. They're way more expensive.
Sometimes you gotta do it once to like learn what you gotta do the next time.
And it was like, I wanted it now. Well, like the Mill Hill ones are too big and the cross-star ones fit just right on the 16 count, but there was like
expensive.
$7 for like a one vial, and this is 2 different colors. That was an expensive swap. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot left. But I would have had a lot of Mill Hill left too.
It looks great now.
Thanks. It's done. It is what it is.
Yay.
Yay. Okay. So that was my one FFO. Next.
None of your other finishes are FFO'd yet.
None of my other ones are FFO'd yet. You'll see those later. I don't even know. I don't really remember what order I did these in.
It doesn't matter.
This is Cinderella by the Little Stitcher. The pattern was gifted to me by Fanny. Thank you, Fanny. The Soul Stitchers. I absolutely love these colors.
They look amazing.
I am thinking about using these colors to decorate the whole room, the whole craft room. That will come someday. It was stitched on 18 count Rustico with all the called for DMC.
I love it.
And it has beads, but I don't remember if the pattern called for beads or if I chose beads.
I don't know, but you whip those beads out. You're just
I
like,
like beads. I really like beads. I know if it did call for beads, these are not whatever the called for was because I just grabbed them from my stash. Look how freaking cute is that? I remember this. I did some of the fill-in for the Midsummer Stitch. That's when I finished it. Okay. So it's been a while.
It looks so good.
Thank you. That was fun to stitch. And like, I swapped out, it was white. I swapped it out at the shoe for like a blue gray. And you can see it a little bit better, but you still can't really see it. But on white, you couldn't see it at all.
Yeah, I can see it better.
So, yeah. I still wish, maybe I should go back and backstitch it before I frame it.
Maybe. Or cover it in beads.
Ooh, glass beads on a little glass sliver.
Just saying.
I don't want to go spend $7.
You know what else could have a bead if you're looking for beads is the center spokes. I feel like I want more beads in this.
More bling. Let's bling her up a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'll leave it.
You're going to have so much fun painting your Mirabilia when you get there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. If they fit. If they fit.
They'll fit.
Because it's a 16 count.
They'll fit. Because they're called for at 16, it's just going to be a little tight, but I don't know. People do it all the time, so.
Yeah. All right, I finally finished Garden of Zig. Yay! I did this as part of the Secret Sal by the Hathaway Stitchers, Erin and Amity. The sal ended on like May 31st. Yeah, I finished like last week or something. really soon from now, so. But we picked all our own colors. We picked our own fabric. So this is a 16 count Mystic by Pictures Plus, maybe. And then just random DMCs. And then the center line in that silver color is DMC Satin. Not worth it.
What did you end up doing? Remember?
I frogged at all of the metallics, which is not as hard as I thought it was going to be. And
you replaced it
all with satin? I replaced it with satin, which I also wouldn't like to stitch with again. But it's not like it was worse than the Kreinik. It was just the same thing. It was the same headache.
Yeah.
So.
You just really wanted them to match.
But they needed to match.
It looks amazing.
Thank you. So I have to frame that one.
You have a frame picked up for it?
I do. I have a frame picked up for this one.
That's exciting.
I'm going to do that myself. I'm a little worried that I won't be able to get it straight But I think the frame comes pretty close.
Yeah, that's why framing full coverage is so much easier because
Yeah.
it's kind of against the...
It'll look wonky. But again, I waited until last week or so to finish it, so. Or soon. I don't remember when it was. It was recently. All right. The next one they finished. Thanks to everybody on Flosstube.
You did it. You did it. Pat yourself on the back.
I don't have a clue what
Everyone came to Allison's rescue and it worked.
Yay.
And I actually love the effect of the different, because it's 3 versions of 602. It is 3 dye lots of 602 and some 603. Give you that much variegation. I think it looks gorgeous.
Thank you. I really like it. I really, really like it. I got that 10 frame for this and it was too small.
Oh, did you find one for it?
No, I don't think I have. Oh, that one on the floor right there. I was going to paint it black.
Oh, okay.
And then just pop it in. So, yes. This is just 14 count 8.
How big is this?
How big is it?
Yeah, across.
I don't remember. 11 by 11.
I have a black frame in my car that I can just get out and leave here, and you can decide if you want to use it or not. That I was going to use when I was going to try to finish coffee and eggs for the fair, and now that I'm not trying that, it's not an emergency. But it's like a weird frame, so it may not work, but it may be better than that if you have to dye that. So I'll just give it to you. When do we leave?
Okay. Yeah. The pattern is Garden Skulls by Prairie Moon Stitcher.
Needlework.
Needlework?
Needlework. I think it's with one.
Okay.
I think it's a singular needlework,
It's
but
just
I don't remember.
needlework. Well, it's gorgeous, and I have another one from it's called the Crypt Club that I'm gonna do next.
Yeah, Carlene started that one. You gotta start it.
Yeah, looks really good. I've got cat hair everywhere.
Life of Cats.
I know.
It looks so good, and thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much.
It was incredible the amount of people who sent a floss, or who at least went and looked to see if they had the floss. That part blew me away. Like, you were gonna do it. So many people were gonna do it.
They saved your whip.
They did. The whip went from almost a UFO. I was ready to UFO it.
Tara will the one cross commented like that went from a UFO to finish so fast. That's like
It was. That was a whirlwind project. All right. Oh, okay. My next one is a finish from the Sal Magical Mystery Tour fan Sal.
No.
What's it called?
So there's the BBD Magical Mystery Tour Sal.
Oh, right.
Which is Sarah, Stitchy Spot, and Peg.
Okay.
And then ours is the Fab Four fan Sal.
I had it right.
And you just were like, these are the same thing.
It's the same thing. You
The
won't
Magic
know.
Mystery Tour fan
You know
Sal.
what I mean.
That looks so good.
This is Elenor Rigby by Blackbird Designs. Stitched on 40 count. Yes, I said that. 40 count. Prehistoric by Fox and Rabbit.
It looks so good.
I did not iron it. Probably wouldn't have looked that better.
Forgot about
I forgot
it.
I had it. But,
She's just like, oh, these little finishes.
yeah. Well, that's what happens when you skip a floss tube.
Yeah, it's a lot to remember. Next time we'll have 3, but because I'm going to be on vacation for a week of it, I don't think I'll have that much I need to be thinking about, but we'll see.
Maybe. The little Elenor Rigby is 1/1 on 40 count.
Oh.
Did you know you can do it on half cross? Didn't.
You did?
I didn't know.
Allison,
I full crossed.
Did you learn
it.
that from Dee?
No, I learned it from Sarah because Sarah was nice. Sarah Stitchy Spot. I was
Oh.
talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, that looks so great."
That's
Did you do
literally
it?
what I did in the Flosstube University on our last Flosstube was say that I learned that you can do it on half cross.
I already did it.
As I was doing the 1/1 on that French flag.
Yeah, I had already done it when you said that. But it's fine. It got done. It wasn't that bad.
But that's funny that we both learned the same thing the hard way at the same time.
Oh, wow. But I really, really love it. And I did buy a tiny frame for it.
It's going to be so cute.
Yeah.
There's so many categories that we'll do. So at the end of the state fair, we'll do a wrap-up video and we'll talk about it. But there are like so many categories that even though Allison is entering 25 things and I'm entering 19 things, we are not, and you get to enter 2 things per category, but we are not entering things in every category. We're only entering things in like 60% of the categories. So Allison's entering this one as a sampler, which I think is so cute.
It's very cute. Is this a sampler?
It is.
Is it called a sampler?
It is, yeah.
What's it a sampling of?
That's not how samplers work.
Oh.
We're gonna do a video on it sometime.
Okay.
We're gonna get real deep into what is the sampler and
It's
like the
it's a
different,
common sampler motif.
the different cross stitch genres.
But it's not. In my mind, a sampler is a sampling of different motifs made into one that you reference for future cross stitch needs.
Reproduction samplers are often that, but not even they are only that. But yeah, it is a sampler.
Okay.
All right. You have.
I have one more.
Oh, okay.
What's your horse?
I don't
This
have
is a staff.
I don't have any finishes, so
It's
don't
a
worry about
staff.
it. Yeah, it's a staff.
It's a start and a finish.
So good.
This is Peacock Pea Cushion by Cottage Garden Samplings. No, it's not. What's it called?
Peacock pin cushion.
That's what I
No,
said.
you said Peacock pea cushion.
No, I did not.
Okay.
Play it back.
Well, we can't stop to rewind it, but we will.
I did not say that.
Okay.
I did not. This is Peacock Pin Cushion. That's exactly what I said.
Okay.
Okay. And then there's like some back stitching that's like him pulling a thread.
It
in
looks
his
really
beak.
good.
I'm not gonna do that because it's gonna go in a frame and not a pin cushion, and I think that would be a little weird.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But it would make a really big pin cushion. I feel like you'd have to
It's
be
a huge pin cushion.
But then
And
the
this is
Stacey
the
Nash
for.
ones are like all huge, and it's like, but if you're not a serious stitcher, why would you
Yeah.
ever want a pin cushion that big?
It's a very large pin cushion.
It's gorgeous.
This is 32 count natural linen, natural raw linen, and it's stiff, but it's still 32, so you have to count twice as much.
Did you like stitching on it more than the 40 count?
Not more than the 40 count because the 40 count is a lot softer, so it's
Oh, because
even
this
harder.
is the raw linen, yeah.
So like feel wise, I would prefer this.
It's
but
funny because you iron my whip so much. You have felt so many different kinds of linen. Is there one you've ever been like, oh, I would like to stitch on that? Never. You're like, this is trash.
No, and Ada just it looks better ironed. It's just
Ada does look better ironed, unless you get a professional to pin it, and then it like pulls it out better.
yeah. But I did this one with Fanny Soul Stitchers.
It looks so
She's
good.
working on hers, and I decided I was just gonna start to finish it, so I didn't work on anything else.
And you frogged some of it?
And I had to frog this whole part right here. Don't look too closely at the pattern because it's wrong.
No, you cannot tell. It's gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
It's gorgeous. Oh, I just love these colors. So I told you I found a mirror that's like, has a circular mirror, but then it's like a big square frame and it's this color green. But it's just like half an inch too small for this. And it would be so silly to like cover up your stitching. But when I am going to stitch it, I'm going to stitch it like to that frame. Like, make sure. I don't care if I have to stitch it 56/1/1. It's going to fit in that frame.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
I have not found a frame yet for it, but I will. I thought I was going to use the one that the Mermaid's in, but it's too big for that. And the Mermaid looks really good in that one.
Oh yeah, the Mermaid looks great. Because that Mermaid, it looks like driftwood. Almost.
Yeah. Definitely very sea-worthy.
Yeah. Did you, wait, you said you didn't find a frame for that one yet?
Or I was going to go to the craft store yesterday, but I had a migraine all day.
Oh. So are you only looking for a circle?
No, I would do anything because at this point, if I have to just get it in and then I can redo it later.
How wide is it?
I think, I don't remember where my measuring tape is. I don't know.
I think the problem is that it wouldn't fit in a 5x7 either.
Well, it would need to be a square, whatever it is.
Yeah. Because I have a 5x7 in the car that's really pretty colors that would look good with that, but I don't think it would look.
Yeah.
I think it's more than 5 inches wide. Because I looked it up to see if that frame would work for you.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't.
That's at least 6.
Yeah. You could do a hoop finish.
Yeah, and I had thought about doing a hoop finish. I would want to paint a hoop. Because I don't know if the raw... Yeah.
Oh. Do you want to do this one? Allison.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Beck, look what you did. You guys are so great. You should do that.
Okay.
You don't have to. I'll just leave it here, and if you change your mind,
Okay.
just
No, I probably will.
That looks
That would
really
look
good.
really
Because
good.
this will cover the rubber,
Yeah.
and that looks like real wood.
Let's see if it fits.
It's not real wood, it's like rubber, but it looks like real wood.
It looks really good.
And you
How do
can,
you hang it though?
you would put like ribbon or cording. I bet there's like a bunch of good tutorials on how to do hoop finishes.
Yes, I bet I know her. Fanny just did a hoop finish, so she could tell me how she did it.
Oh yeah, this is beautiful. I don't want to hurt your stitching, but oh, it's so pretty.
Like very nice stitching. But yeah, I think that would look really good. And then
Beck, you changed a life today. It really is hard when you have a piece and you go to like 10 thrift stores and you're like, surely, like, because I just go to thrift stores all the time when I'm mad at my husband, and then I just happen to like, you know, if I see a frame I really like, I will just get it. And so I have this like collection of frames. But then you'll have a piece that needs something very specific.
yeah.
And you will be on some kind of deadline and just nothing. It will be nothing and nothing. That looks so good.
Well, you can tell her I messed up though, because it goes.
It doesn't matter. Because what you're going to do is put the hanger like right here, and it will just look like it's part of the, like, so the hanger will be kind of coming off anyway, so it won't matter. But look how good that looks. And then, yeah, I don't know how you do it, but there's something where you like tie
I
it all
would need
up.
to cut it and lace it and
Yeah.
put it back on.
But if you're going to keep it in here as like the permanent frame of it, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's very pretty.
It's really pretty. And that frame is like so substantial. It's not like a wussy little
Yeah.
thin frame.
Looks really good.
I love
What do
it.
y'all think? Finish? Done?
Tell us in the comments before she does anything permanent.
Done.
Yeah, you just hand it to them. You're like, here,
Take it.
That's how I feel about some of these pieces. Like, just get it out of my sight. Okay, so that's all your finishes?
That was my finish.
Guys, that was a month of
Yeah.
finishes. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That monogamous stitcher. Okay. New starts.
I do have a new start. It got one day as well, all my new starts from now on.
Just to have it started.
It started. Ta-da. So this is, okay. This fabric is 18 count Ada that I dyed
It
blue.
looks so good.
The Ada is actually, this piece is from the Disney kit, the Kincaid kit I had.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's the stiffest fabric that I've ever
But
used.
it's soft now.
Barely. You know how many, this went through hot boiling water for like an hour. And it's still really crunchy.
It's
good for me.
Yeah.
I like it. It's still very crunchy.
Yeah.
Considering it was boiled
But
in
it
hot
looks
water. This is for the, just say it, what's
two kinds of delicious.
two kinds of delicious style.
Yeah, I have mine start to show too in a minute.
And I'm doing the dark golden delicious.
So pretty.
That's
And
definitely
thank you
gifted
to
me.
Gigi, the Artsy Housewife, for allowing me to gift her my PDF.
Yeah.
Because it was very weird and dumb to have bought both of them.
I'm glad you did, because now I get to do it too. I'm very excited about this one. I hope to pick it up after I finish Lady of the Flag.
Oh.
Yeah, because I think this would go really, really good in my house.
Totally, yeah.
I think so. I did the Rit dye. I watched lots of tutorials. I watched some really funny ones. I don't remember names or anything, so I can't like direct you to them. But some of them were really good, and some of them you can tell people are just winging it, and that's what we're all doing, and that's great. It was so entertaining
They're
to
not
watch
ready
everybody
to sell.
Yeah, it's so funny. But
You know what the thing is? There are people who like dye fabric, right? But they don't have names and they don't repeat. They just dye some things and they sell them. And I think you could actually have a fun time just dyeing like 10 pieces of fabric and
I
selling
could never
those.
repeat. I don't know how
But you
anyone
wouldn't.
repeats
You wouldn't
it.
repeat them.
No.
You would just be like, these are what came out
This
today.
is what happened. Here you go. So like I used a combination of what people were saying how to do it and what the bottle said how to do it, and this is what happened.
Well, you're 2 for 2. Because your
Oh,
fruit of
that's
plenty is
fun.
also good.
Yeah, the Fruits of Plenty was fun. So I like these colors. It's like royal blue, indigo, and navy blue or something like that.
It's really
It's a lot of blues. And it just got this teeny tiny start. I'm using all the DMC, called for DMC on it.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. But I am going to be monogamously stitching from now until I decide I don't want to. So it will be going away for a while.
So you're gonna do Lady the Flag and one focus piece?
No, just Lady
the Flag till it's done. Okay, because it's going to be crunch time, and you're like, I need this.
I've actually decided to make it a focus piece, and try and get it done by the election.
Oh, that's cool. Channel some anxiety into Lady the Flag. Positive vibes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Go America.
Go America.
Let's go America.
Yeah. I do think it was nice during the Olympics to be like, oh, go America.
Go America.
All right, I have the same new start, but I'm doing the other version of it. I'm doing regular Golden Delicious. So what happened was she did this when it came out at the online Needlework marketplace last year, and then she released Dark Golden Delicious afterwards. And Dark Golden Delicious, I think, is still an exclusive PDF in her Etsy shop. Like, I don't think you can get that through stores. So this is my start. I have about 300 stitches. But I did the same thing where I was like, I pulled this out on the day. It also met the Olympics prompt that I was doing because I hit every single prompt of the Olympics, Stitch the Summer Olympics hosted by the Naptime Stitcher. I hit every single prompt, but I stopped updating it on Instagram because I was pulling out the same like things every day. But the cool one was the prompt for the day that this was started was stitch on something with a building. And it literally has a giant building in the middle of it. So I'm doing it with the called for. It lives in my ragtag cool art chicken bag. I am doing it with the called for floss, which I kitted up last year. I don't stitch with all of these brands anymore, but anything I have kitted up, I'm just continuing with. But I'd taken balsam fur out of it on accident, and then I thought I had extra balsam fur, and I used it in a different project, and then I realized I didn't actually have extra balsam fur. So I started it, then I had to put it down to finish my state fair pieces, which also gave me time to place that 1, 2, 3 stitch order and get the balsam fur that I needed, so it's here. And then I took this needle minder from a different project and put it, so the Gold Delicious has a nice...
I like it.
Apple. But this had Cornelius kitted up in it, and I was like, well, I need the bag, but Cornelius is still gonna get stitched next year, so that's why I bought this chicken bag, was for Cornelius.
Oh, that's funny.
This is...
Oh, I forgot I can enter him. It's on the wall.
We did enter.
Okay, you have to remember.
Yeah, we're gonna come
over.
over, we're gonna film a finished braid, and then I'm gonna take the checklist and make sure everything is in.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's FFO'd already, so he has to go.
Yeah.
So this is on the call for fabric. I think it's a Zweigart, but I can't remember. I just literally hit kitted up for me. But I put it on 28 count instead of the called for 36 or 40, which I'm really, I think they were out of it, or I was smart enough to know I'm not gonna want to do that on 40 count. I'm quite happy with my decision. But yeah, the colors look so beautiful. Now I did stitch the wrong color.
Oops.
In the middle of it, but I looked and it's not like a pattern that repeats. They're all just seem to be kind of random, so I'm not taking it out because it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks fine, and I'm not dealing with it.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, it was like, oh no, I'm not dealing with this. I love this piece though, and I'm very excited to be stitching it.
I really like it.
So that was my new start. All right, did you have any whips?
I have the one.
Get ready to hear that a lot in the future, guys. I got the one whip.
Got my one.
But if you finish it in November, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So this is Lady of the Flag. It's a Mirabilia. It is out of print at the moment, but should come back because of popular opinion.
That is Allison saying she will.
I said I wish it was.
Yeah, not that you can expect it.
No.
But
that's as far as I've gotten because I've been doing all those other things. I just picked it back up. And I'm working on the flag down here.
It's so pretty.
Section
It's
right
so
here.
crazy what you can do with those colors.
Mm-hmm.
I like stitching with fancy floss, but really I just need to. When it's come time to prep and wash your pieces, it's it's but I also I want to wash my pieces. I need to just settle in to do more.
Yeah.
DMC, but it's fine.
This is all the call for DMC, or is it all DMC?
Her older ones are in less stuff than the newer ones.
I think it's because it's just DMC, Kreinik, and beads.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So this is just the DMC.
This isn't a conspiracy theory, but this is my personal theory, and I have never heard anyone else say if this is true or not. Mill Hill owns or distributes the Mirabilia patterns, and they also own Karen Waterloo's, and they also own Mill Hill beads, obviously.
Oh.
So my guess is like as they've acquired other things, she then is like encouraged or has the ability to then incorporate them herself, and maybe they didn't own some of those other things, but I could be making that up.
Well, I'm glad.
That's my headcanon about what's going on with Mirabilia's.
Yeah.
Looks so good.
It's got quite a ways to go.
How much, can you tell what percentage you're at?
I am at 25-ish percent.
Oh.
A little over 25%. I've got cat hair freaking all over my house.
Well, does he shed in the summer real bad?
Yes, so bad. Yesterday was an issue. I went around, like, okay, you're probably not supposed to do this, but you know, have you seen those commercials where like they steam the cat and then they like?
No.
Okay, there's a commercial. I get shown it on Instagram a lot.
Okay.
Where they like steam the cat and then like brush it and its fur comes out. Well, I was like, that's it, because I like got hair in my mouth or something. So I took a wet paper towel and I started like, it's okay, sweetie, and I just
I don't think it's like
with the wet paper towel until he noticed that it was wet, and then
not
he
like
got
cat
out.
cruelty though.
It's not cat cruelty, but I was like, I'm gonna get as much hair as I can while you're in my spot. So yesterday was let's clean Frankie day.
I love it.
Jared is like, just give it a bath. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna give the cat a bath.
Good luck with that. Emily C was talking about in her last video. Emily C was talking about how her cats are getting older and they need a lot more attention, and sometimes she has to give them baths and they do not like it.
Oh no!
But they like aren't as up on their self grooming as they used to be because of age. And I was like, oh, poor kitty.
Poor kitty. I think ours, it's just so hot. It's just shedding, but it's on everything I own, and it's getting on my nerves. And I think it's in my sinuses because I've had a headache for 2 days now. But this is Lady of the Flag. Oh, and I did make sure my notions is up to date on this.
Oh.
Because if I'm only going to show one project, I probably could tell you some details about that project. So let me tell you about Lady of the Flag. Started May 1st. It is 340 by 170. So guys, that means it technically is wider than it is long. Does that make any sense to anyone but me? I mean, it does not make sense to me. Lady of the Flag, you've seen the picture, is longer than she is.
No, I think they're saying it's 300 this way.
But when you do 340, that means wide by height.
Sometimes I think people
they flip it.
Around, yeah.
You think Mirabilia flipped it in her thing?
Well, I don't think it's wider because I've seen it framed so many times.
Okay, I know, because when you see it, it looks taller and wider. But why?
I think it's just in a different order.
Okay, well, that confused the heck out of me. But either way,
it's
because there's a lot of words at the bottom. There's a whole banner.
Yeah. Well, maybe it is wider. I don't think so, but
I don't think so either.
Because I think the frames.
But her dress does go out.
Yeah.
Goes.
Maybe.
Anyway, so that's how big it's gonna be. It's stitched on 16 count prehistoric. The other one I did on Elenor Rigby was also called prehistoric, but that was Fox and Rabbit, and this one is Forbidden Fiber Company.
It looks so good.
Thanks. Let's see. I'm just going to tell you everything I wrote down. Okay, I already told you I'm worried the beads won't fit because it's the same size. I used the Mirabilia beads on that 16 count Mia, and they don't fit.
There are conversions on getting smaller beads though.
And I know, I bought the beads.
And I told you, if that happens, I will buy the bead pack from you.
Okay. Do I need to buy invisible thread? Because I have not used invisible thread. I have always attached beads with whatever color.
Yeah.
Just the corresponding beads.
What do you guys think? Should she get invisible thread? Here's my thing is that I don't know because I've never beaded.
I know. How hard is it to
bead?
And
I'm going to be my first thing tomorrow, and it's going to be a thing that doesn't even need beads because I messed up the French knots and I have to hide them. That's why I have to bead. Because the dog has French knots on his eyes, and I looked at them and I was like, these are terrible. And I also, but it also is like much smaller than the frame. So I was like, well, if I get beads for the eyes, I could put some beads around it, and it will like make the pattern seem a little bit more substantial.
Do X's for his eyes.
Because I already did it. Like, it's done. These French knots need to be hidden. They can't be frogged.
Oh, okay.
They're terrifying.
That's unfortunate.
But anyway, so I don't know.
So,
but what do you guys think?
Thoughts on using invisible thread? Do you have a favorite invisible thread? Do you think I should just use a color that matches the bead? Because that seems easy.
It seems easy, but does it mean you then have to stop and start over and over and over and over again? And I know some people match the thread to their fabric too. I don't know.
I don't know yet. I mentioned my goal date is now November 5th, the U.S. presidential election.
So you want to finish it as the results are coming in?
Yeah, or if I finish it before then.
That would be cool.
Between now and then. I did the math, and it's roughly, I don't know how many stitches exactly because the stitch count, even within markup, is different.
Yeah.
So between 350-ish a day, 315 to 350.
Oh yeah, I would ignore what markup says. I would just.
We don't know what. Yeah, but I don't have a clue what my math is.
Yeah. Well, how many is left? How many's?
I only know because of what markup says.
Yeah. How many stitches are left?
I don't know because it has 2 spots for it and they're both different.
For how many are left?
Because page 1 you have like 5,000 left,
Yeah.
and page 2 is like 20,000 left. But then those 2 numbers added together do not equal what they say I have for my total project left.
Oh, that's
it's
weird.
wrong.
Yeah,
so,
I would just go off the total project number.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that overcounts when you put in paper patterns by a lot because it'll count things that are stitches that are not stitches. But I just go off that even when.
Well, the markup says that the total stitch count is 37,100 or like 105 or something like that. And that this is just over 9,500.
So if the page number is wrong, it's not wrong by that much.
I don't know.
Give or take like 2,000. Yeah.
So I'm gonna shoot for 350 a day. Average 350 a day. I don't really. Some days I'll do 500. Some days I'll do 100. But
I do that. I normally stitch 500 a day if I sit down and stitch. But then I'll have a night like last night where it's just like it all goes to hell and it
on a Saturday I can do 1,500. Yesterday I did 500, and that was through pain. Like it was a bad stitching day.
You're gonna finish this on time.
So I think I'll finish it.
Can you imagine that at the fair next year?
I know. I'm super excited. I got to save money.
For the framing.
Maybe that'll be a good Christmas goal. Like everybody, anyone who wants to give me a Christmas present, just give me cash. Framing cash. Oh, no, Jared will have been at his job for 9 years and like 3 months. But at 10 years, they get like $500 gift card.
Oh.
And I could use whatever gift cards.
He just gives you the gift cards.
He just gives me all the gift cards. So maybe I don't know what they give you for 9 and a bit.
I don't know.
It's probably nothing. I think it's like last year was like $100 or something. Longevity is not rewarded. It's not worth it. But he loves his job, so whatever. Ta-da!
That's awesome.
Thank you. All right, that was my one whip.
Okay.
Yay!
I actually don't have that many whips either because I've really been focusing on trying to get this one finished for the fair because it's entered. It's just not done. So since you guys saw this last, I've done 4,500 stitches on it. I have about 2,500 left. So it will get done. I only have to do 500 a day between now and Thursday, and then I can wash it Thursday night, frame it Friday. Well, I won't even have to because we're going to go on Sunday. So I'm going to watch it, and then I can let it dry for a couple days, frame it Saturday. I already have the frame picked out, and it fits in an 8x10. So
when you wash it, lay it flat and between 2 towels and iron it like that once, and then it dries.
Okay.
It'll be much flatter.
Well, most of my full coverages I don't have an issue with. It's the linen, it's that Rustico and that Rustico Ada that I had a problem with.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't even remember where it was, but I just basically I finished the sky, I finished the first set of windows down in here. So this is the bottom of the piece. So this is the corner down here. I don't have the corner down here yet, but you can see where it's going. So that's all I have left. I started this as part of the Princess birthday sale.
It looks so good.
And right now this is in our store for $9.50 because it doesn't have pictures of a model with it. But when I'm done, then I take photos of it.
Week, y'all.
Then I'll change the price to the model price.
Yeah.
So
grab your discount.
It'll probably so between now and the next Flosstube it'll go up. So if you've been wanting this for if you've been looking at it and thinking about it, I am gonna raise the price on it once it's done and I have new pictures of it.
It looks so good.
So it's Portugal #1 Pina Palace, and it's this picture was taken. Oh, if you're new here, this is based on this is one of my designs. It's based on all of my designs are based on travel photographs that I did. You saw Skogofoss earlier. This is based on a picture I took in Portugal at Pina Palace. I can't believe it's almost done. This will be the biggest thing I finish when it's done because this has almost 16,000 stitches.
Nice.
So,
feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now I am I don't know if saving 7,000 of those 16,000 stitches to a 3-week period right before the state fair was the kindest on me because I've really been enjoying stitching it, but I don't really enjoy stitching anything that much back to back to back. Mm. So last night I did take a break and stitch something else, but I love it. It's so cheery and fun. Mm-hmm. And I am very excited that it's going to be in the fair because I'm entering it in the competition under self-charted design. And last year I entered one in that category too, and there were not a ton of entries in that category. So it will probably do just as well as anything else I would enter in that category because there just aren't a lot of entries in that category. But I still am feel good that it's it'll be my most impressive stitched one to date. Mm-hmm. So, and it lives in this 805 stitcher bag, and I'm stitching it. Oh, I'm stitching Dark Gold Malicious. I started stitching it with a 9x12 or 12x6 hoop, oval hoop, but I'm going to switch it to a circular one because the hoop is really kind of too big for that bag. And then this is a 9x4.5 Duchess hoop. But I can't believe that this is almost done. Mm-hmm. And it's making me feel much more, so I've released designs that I haven't stitched, but this will be the first one of this size that I've stitched, and it's made me very excited to start charting things and just getting them out, even the ones I don't have time to stitch, because it really does look.
It looks great.
The mock-up looked good, and this looks so much better than the mock-up that it's making me really happy about. Mm-hmm. And I have a bunch of things that I'm supposed to be charting in the next 2 months to get up in the shop, so that will be good. Yay. All right, so that was whip #1. That got almost all my time. The other 2 things only came out because there was either an Olympics prompt that one couldn't fit into, because that fit into most days. Even the day that was stitch your favorite designer, I was I have to stitch my own designs. Even though I love other people's designs, I have to stick up for myself in this one. Okay, so this got about 300 stitches. This is The Song of the People by Told in a Garden. And I finished filling in the lining of the windows and the gray that goes in the window. And then I did a dark red and then this black outline of this barn quilt. And then I started.
It's looking really good.
I love it. I just love it so much. So last night, I'll tell my murder house update story now because this is the piece that got interrupted. Okay, so imagine I'm starting this barn quilt, right? I'm starting this barn quilt. Now I was, currently at the exact moment that this murder house update happened, I was frogging because the black on the inside, I put it 1 stitch over. So I had a bunch more done in here that I frogged. Yeah. But anyway, I'm watching Lolly Stitch's quilting bee video that she's put up. And I'm stitching on this barn quilt, right? Happy as clam. My husband was out with his friends. It was the first time he had left to go see his friends since we moved. So first time in a month where I had help putting the kids to bed with dinner and everything. So I wasn't haggard, but also had time to myself to just sit there and watch Flosstube instead. So I'm just stitching my quilt, watching about quilting. Lolly's quilting bee sheet. If you like watching people quilt things, even if you don't like to actually quilt, it was so good. Because she had she had a quilt that was books. She had a quilt that was strawberries. It was so good. Anyway, power goes out. Oh. Yeah. Power in my house goes out. Luckily my kids are in bed. They don't notice. And they're actually asleep. But it's very hard to stitch when the power goes out. So I put this down. I see blue lights out the window. Okay. I go try to check the fuse box. I flip the fuse because it seemed like it was a fuse problem because the kitchen lights were still on, but somehow the kitchen lights that are recessed have some kind of backup, or we don't have solar, but they stayed on when everything else went off. But I didn't, because we just moved into the house a month ago. I don't know everything about the house, so that really was weird to me. But our air conditioner was out, and I flipped all the fuses to see if that helped, and it didn't. But so I had kitchen lights, but nothing else, and so it was really weird. And then these blue lights go by: 1 cop car, 2 cop cars, 3 cop cars, 4, 5 cop cars, and an ambulance pull up at the house next door. The home, I thought that this is where the guy who told me that no girls had lived in the house. If you don't know the story, the guy that I've been worried is a murderer, it's his house all these cop cars pull up to. And I'm just watching out the picture window of my front house, being so nosy. And there's no lights on the block, which I should have clocked earlier that that meant it wasn't just an issue in my house, but I didn't, because it was all this chaos. And the dogs from next door are out just running around in circles. And all the neighbors who don't have power are outside watching this too. And I mean, it's happening in my front yard, right?
It's right next door.
Yeah, because but she's the woman from inside the house comes out and sits on the divider between my house and her house.
Oh gosh.
A bunch of cops roll up. I posted a video on Instagram last night of all these cops walking in. They pull out, they take a guy out on a stretcher into the ambulance, and then they start questioning the woman. And I go outside and I'm sitting on my bench the nosiest person ever. Just sitting, and I'm just kind of listening, and I'm texting my husband and they question her, and apparently the wife, I haven't even told you this yet.
No. Okay,
so the wife threw a beer bottle at her husband, and it hit him so bad, and the cop goes, "There's blood everywhere."
Oh no.
And they go to arrest her, and she's surprised she's getting arrested, and the cop goes, "You threw a beer bottle at him." So he's in an ambulance, she's in a cop car, gone. And when I think I solved the mystery of the house, because I think that the person I talked to that said the girls didn't live at our house was their son, and he doesn't really live there.
Oh.
He just, the way when we go to our parents' house, it feels like we live there, but we're not really the neighbor, and maybe we don't pay much attention to what's going on. So I think it was the son who probably has a historic tie to the house, but wasn't as clued into what was going on over the last year. So I think I solved the murder house. And that guy just was...
Why is your basement still nailed shut?
That's an issue for a different day that we're not getting into right now. But I think the guy who was not necessarily lying, wasn't messing with us, but just was
uninformed.
And I told you had a Seth Rogen vibe, maybe not all there. But we were right to be very skeptical of that house, because and also DV is never acceptable, it's never good, but I do want to know exactly what he said to her before she threw a beer bottle at his head. And don't put me on the jury, because I'm not I can't be on that jury. I want to know what he said, and I'm probably going to give a little bit of
victim blaming.
I just want to know. I don't know too many situations where women are throwing things at men and something. Although you have more history than I do.
I have several people I know.
So anyway, what was funny is the week before
I didn't even tell you I have. I'll tell you later.
Okay. The week before this happened, their trash can had just been on the edge of their driveway, so I thought they were out of town. So it was even crazier when they're actually no, there was a huge fight inside the house, and they were totally there. And all the neighbors were outside watching. And then apparently one of our neighbors is on the police force and came out and was nice. I just want to check on you guys. So it was okay, so if I do find more murder situations, I'm just going to go to him and be what do you think, neighbor? You guys had some really good ideas on the last video, and I am going to do one of them, which is I'm no longer worried about these girls, really, because I think the guy that told me that they weren't there just didn't know that they existed, not that he murdered them. That's my theory. But somebody had the idea, I think it was Molly had the idea to mail their stuff to my house, and then it would just get forwarded now that their forwarding's in order. And I think I'm going to do that because one of the things was to save the date.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to put it all in an envelope and forward it. or mail it to myself, and then
It'll be cool.
yeah, see what happens. But anyway, so I think murder house solved? Question mark. Don't go in the basement. Storm cellar.
Maybe
Storm
you should ask
cellar.
your cop neighbor to look in your cellar.
Yeah.
You're renting it. It's your property to explore, just not by yourself.
But once it's open,
With
then I have to
law
worry about
enforcement.
the children like falling in and stuff, even if there's nothing wrong with it.
Stick a lock on it.
So, but anyway, I'm calling case closed. And in the Make It Murder Sal, we're still doing that. It'll be super fun. But I'm calling it case closed.
Because you don't want to think about it anymore.
Anyway, so that is also what interrupted my stitching on this project.
This is one of those moments in a horror movie when the person says case closed and then it's like you'll never see it again.
So anyway, that's Song of the People, Told in the Garden. Oh, I just love it.
That's so random.
I was like, when is a good time? Because I know I wanted
Now
to tell
is
the
the
update.
time.
And this was the
Told in the garden.
verisimilitude of, I was literally stitching this at that moment.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I switched to stitching this.
I think Andrew's doing a Told in the garden.
He is, yeah.
That's awesome.
He's doing strawberry. He has there's like 3 hole in the garden patterns that I don't have that I do want to stitch, and that's one of them.
It's one of them?
Strawberry I have blueberry homecoming. I don't have strawberry homecoming or raspberry homecoming.
Yeah.
No, and then I want the grandmother's house and the grandfather's barn. And then when I get those 4, I'll have all the ones in the whole collection that I want to stitch. I'm stitching with this 9 by 12 by 6 oval, but I switched it to the one that has the original Stitcher's 1912 signature because I just love this piece.
Nice.
And it lives in this Carrie Sews For You barn quilt bag. And I only have one more. This was one that like literally only like it was the Olympics prompt that was like an animal. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, let me get out my Secret Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews.
So cute.
So this is my birthday stitch. I do have a goal of 1,000 stitches on it by the end of the month. I just did 100 because this is something that's coming out like once Pina Palace is done. Mm-hmm. But I just was down here in the golds and the blues.
Very pretty.
I love her. It's funny, I'm actually like 9% done or something. It doesn't feel like it could be, but it's because the bird is such a significant part of the pattern. Look at her little color
Really
palette.
pretty, yeah.
Oh, it's so pretty. Those flowers are going to be so pretty. And then I am stitching, I think it's on 28 count sand dune by
I
Stitch
really
Me.
like this.
I'm stitching it with my queen hoop, which if you didn't see the vintage hoop parade, I talked about what queens are and how this is my only one. And well, actually I have a metal one, but I am stitching with it. And it lives in this Jasmine custom bags. It has like novels. It has like Pride and Prejudice and Jane Eyre and Secret Garden on it. For the Secret Garden. All right, those are all my whips because I did so much stitching on that one.
Okay.
All right, so now plans.
Okay.
You kind of already talked about it, but
Those were my plans. Oh, I have additional plans.
okay.
Okay, I'm a monogamous stitcher, except I have an accept, and I'm allowed to do that because I'm me. Football is
Yeah.
my accept. So this is a football household. We watch football from the time it starts, which is this week.
I live in a soccer basketball household, so they're very different. Yeah.
So there's a football household. So football starts this week. If I'm watching football and I do not want to watch it or work on Lady of the Flag, which I don't know, I might still work on it. I have 2 options. One is my Sooner Santa, which I started last year.
That's gonna kill at the state fair some year.
So good.
Whenever it's done.
But it is full coverage, so it's going to take a lot longer. You'll see a lot less progress.
Unless the judges are OSU people, and then they're like
That-
negative points.
That would not happen. Don't even. So that's a definite for OU, for University of Oklahoma games. And then I'm also a Packers fan, and I'm in a Instagram group, the Packer Backer Stitchers. And me and my girls are stitching. They've chosen a pattern. I decided I cannot start another large pattern. I just can't. My heart is just. I've already committed to doing the Murder Sal, and Tiny Towns, Seaside Tiny Town is not even that big, but it feels large to add into the collection. So I got a Mill Hill kit and I got a football, and I thought that's perfect because it'll be beating, it'll be football, it'll be done like relatively soon. Yeah, so that seemed more manageable. So for me, I'm doing that Mill Hill during Packer Gets Games. And so those are my exceptions.
I do have a Green Bay pattern that I have in haul that I need to show you.
Do?
I told you about.
Okay.
All right, my plans. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so my plans. I'm starting Black Cat Season by Lindy Stitches with Kylene from CCL Stitches on August 25th. I'm doing Black Cat Season is a series of 5 patterns from Lindy Stitches, and then she has a free border that you can download if you want to do all of them. So I'm doing all 5 as a bell pull, and I bought the whole, I bought everything for it last year and just didn't start it. So I'm very excited to start it August 25th. If you want to start it with us, you are more than welcome. I'm not going to do a generic Black Cat style because there are a few people that do annual cat Halloween things that I'll just join in. But if you want to stitch Black Cat Season with us specifically, we're going to start August 25th. Then I'm starting Swan Lake Mandala. We're going to do it sometime in August between dropping off for the state fair and when I leave, but we haven't picked in there exactly what day. I kitted the whole thing up in DMC, so I'm not doing any of the water lilies or silks or anything. I'm going to do DMC, petite treasure braid, and beads. And it doesn't have carnic, it has petite treasure braid. But so I'm going to do DMC, the metallics, and the beads. But I haven't bought the metallics or the beads yet. But I got my fabric, and I'll show you guys in haul. And then I bought all the DMC, which I didn't bring because it's 60 skeins of DMC. I did go through I didn't want to because I wanted to just go to the store and put them all in and not deal with it. But I did go through all of my DMC and pull all the stuff I had. But because I want to do it, and I had about half of them. But because I want to do it where I don't want to feel any pressure on how long this chatelaine is going to take because it's a chatelaine. So if I didn't have a full skein of something, then I didn't pull it because I don't want to end up with partial skein of a dye lot issue. So I only pulled full skeins and I had about half of them. And if I had an old dye lot, then I had to have 2 full skeins of it. So there are a couple where it's an old dye lot of the DMC, but I pulled 2 full skeins on where they only needed 1 skein. So I cannot run into a dye lot issue on the old ones because it wouldn't be that big of a deal because of the way that it's rotates. Would you notice slight shade differences or whatever? But I'm going to put it all, and I'm going to kit this one up in my Flossway bags because it's since I have them and this project uses so much floss, I'm just going to put it in the Flossway bags with and so that'll be kind of a treat to myself because I don't have to spend a bunch of hours doing bobbins or floss straps. I'm just gonna throw them in bags. And actually, on our how to use Flossway bag video, they're not my favorite, but I do like them occasionally, so it'll be fun. So those are the 2 things I'm gonna start. Oh, I also kitted up Spooky Skyline by Mod Cross, which is from that Just Cross Stitch. It's from the Halloween Just Cross Stitch, and then she's also releasing it as a pattern at Marketplace, Needlework Marketplace. So I don't have a date picked out. I'm going to do it in September, but if anybody wants to do a Spooky Skyline with me, I'm going to do it in September. All right, Flosstube University. This is where we share things that we learn on Flosstube. We also put out our own Flosstube University lessons on Thursdays, but not this week because you're going to get the book extra. All right, Allison, what did you learn?
I used several tutorials. I used several tutorials while dyeing fabric. And like I said, I kind of used a combination of all of them. I don't even remember specifically.
You told me these 2 specific ones for framing.
Okay, yeah. For the dyeing, I really went mostly on
vibes.
Yeah. I was you know what? I'm not working with the oven. It's 200 degrees outside, so let's not turn the oven on. So that didn't happen. I just let it dry, ironed it, and rinsed it until it ran clear, which was never recommended by anybody.
A lot of people do that though, because then it's washable.
Okay, I just didn't. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Whatever. But I never saw a tutorial that was
I don't think people suggest doing that, but I know that Amy from Fiber Arts, when she sells her fabric, they're washable.
Okay, good. So
she said with the caveat of, she said when they get washed, they run clear with the caveat of different other things can affect whether something's washable. So it's washable at her house, but you may not be able to wash it like at your house. But
Okay. And then I watched some tutorials for framing. Tiger Lily was one of them. Yeah,
we'll link to these two.
Yeah, and then Primrose Cottage had a framing one that I used. So I used both of those techniques. It was good. It was a lot easier than I thought. Even the videos, you know, you watch a video and they're like, oh, can't be that easy. But it really is pretty easy.
It's easier. It's like very easy to get it 90% of what I like. It's really hard to get it 100% of what I like.
Well, and I've only done it
except full coverage. Full coverage is like I will always do my own full coverage, and from now on, unless I need a custom frame size.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do much more linen stuff.
Well, I think I put enough. I have them to the side here. I'm just looking. You can't see. I think I had enough borders that you can't tell if it's straight or not.
Yeah. Well, and the ones that have no borders look amazing.
Yeah. Just the witch's cabinet.
It also depends too, like if it's not a big piece, then I don't want to worry about it. But I don't think I want to frame my own big pieces that mean a lot.
Yeah.
Like if I put more than a year of my life into it, and not just because I ignored it for a year, but like if I really stitch on it for like 100 days or something, and it's not full coverage, I don't think I want to be.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting Lady the Flag professionally framed with like a really gaudy, awesome frame.
The problem that I found is that the thrift stores have the better frames than the craft stores. The craft stores, like framers, do not have all of the framing options. But maybe like if you go down to the Village framer, like some of those like higher level framers, maybe they have more framing options. Because when I used to get my stuff custom framed in Philadelphia, the lady that we went to had the best frames.
Yeah. But you're gonna pay a lot more for that.
Oh, we paid a lot.
Yeah, you pay a lot more.
We even paid a lot by today's standards, and that was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Ugh, it was like 11, 12, 13, 14 years ago. Some of those.
Keep counting.
All right. Okay, for me, for Flosstube University, I didn't write down anything specific that I learned, but I really was enjoying watching. I always love Emily C's videos, but her last one, she had some plant information that was helpful as someone who kills all her plants. But two, like every time I sit down and watch her, I just like am relaxed. And I also feel like she shares tidbits of history about what stitching and Flosstube and everything was like in the like 10 years between when it was invented and I started watching it, because like a lot of people who do Flosstubes are celebrating 2, 3, 4 years, don't have the like institutional knowledge of, and people have actually asked us like for an extra on the history of Flosstube, which would be so fun, but we would have to interview some real OGs, like, and Emily C is a real OG, and I always come away from her videos with the sense of like the weight and importance of different things. Or like she said that like there's Manny May, right? Like that she said there was a Manny May before that, and she said she's glad it's been recreated for a newer generation of stitchers. But I had no idea that before like the last year there was a Manny May that went like way back. So it's interesting stuff like that I always learn. Cool. And then we watched a lot of whip and stash parades. Huga Stitcher, I don't know if we watched, I don't remember what the order when it came out, if I mentioned her whip parade last time, but part 2 came out this time for sure. So either, I don't know if I watched both parts or just one part since we met last, but Catherine Allen, who goes by something else on Instagram, she had a whip parade, and she's the one I sent you where the wall behind her is all her Brooks books. And like, so she has the Cinderella You Did frame behind her. So her whip parade was really good. I could see you wanting like half of her projects. Savory Sewing had a whip parade that was really good, and that was to celebrate her 1 year on Flosstube. Sound Mind Stitching did a whip parade, and in it she mentioned us because she's doing Summer in the Village, and she said one of the reasons she likes our channel is because we do a lot of OlwForest. Well, I do a lot of OlwForest, but also that she's doing that. I don't know if she knew about it from the Free Summer Patterns video or if she already had it, but she is doing the cow already in that pattern, and it looks really good.
Nice.
And then D's 20 Stitches had a stash parade. That was really good.
That was really good, yes.
Yeah, it was really fun. All right, haul.
I did get some haul, but you've already heard about it. My haul was, it's under here somewhere. Maybe Seaside Tiny Town, or I'm renaming it because I'm recharting it, so it's going to be Seaside Murder Village.
So our last extra was all about our Make It Murder Sal, where we're encouraging people to take cute patterns that are like cutesy and beautiful and turn them into crime scenes, or you could take a sampler and make it a confession, or you could take a Quaker and turn it into murder motif, like whatever you want to do. But we have a chat going for people who want to be in the chat. You do not need to be in the chat to participate in the Sal.
No, but people are throwing out some good ideas.
But yeah, the chat. And the chat is really like we wanted to do the chat because like this is a lot of skills that we don't all use all the time, like recharting things and stuff. So I'm excited.
I have a lot of good ideas. I need to buy fabric still. And I saw that.
Oh, it doesn't.
Splatter
the Seaside doesn't come with any charms. It just comes with a few beads. That's funny. That's no, that's where it's glued down.
Just some beads.
Oh, they're the seagull eyes.
Oh, weird.
That's fun.
Okay.
It's so cute.
I like to bead. I'm going to, my modifications so far are going to be to make all the houses, it's going to be Miami, so the bright Miami colored houses, and an ice truck. It's going to be, going to stick an ice truck in here and probably a cop car, but like Miami cop car, or maybe, yeah, it'll be fun, and a boat.
And a boat. And a boat.
It needs a boat. A boot. And then I went ahead and bought the football Mill Hill kit. Ignore the blue star. That was a poor choice.
I did wonder if you're gonna do what are you gonna do for the?
I might try and find like a green something. Yeah.
Green beads would fix it because you could just leave it as a star.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Or
it's just a charm.
You could do one for Dad. Oh, it's a charm.
It's a charm. I'm just not gonna use that charm.
Oh,
I might just not use the charm, or if I want to find a green one.
Find a piece of cheese.
Or the G.
Yeah.
So.
Are you going to make one for Dad?
A piece of cheese. How cute would that be?
Really cute.
I hadn't planned on it. You think he would care? He doesn't. My dad doesn't
When you give her Dad a gift, what he said was, you didn't need to.
He's like me. We don't necessarily know how to express appreciation. Things that you weren't expecting.
I think you don't know how to express appreciation. I think our father does not feel appreciation.
Oh.
He feels burdened by the object.
Oh. Yeah, that could be it too.
And so when I come back from a trip and I've gotten everyone a present, what I tell Dad is, I would say, Dad, we didn't get you anything. Here you go. And he'll say thank you. Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Unless we see something that's like truly perfect, nothing.
Yeah. Jared buys Dad's socks for his birthday every year.
Perfect.
The same always.
Yeah,
socks
perfect.
Every year.
Last year I got Dad for Father's Day. I got him like the things you use in your like Armor All for his dashboard.
Yeah.
Not because he particularly cares about like taking care of his car, but because I knew he would be like, okay, I'll use it.
Yeah.
Like he can't like take it back.
He would take it back if you knew where you bought it. He would.
It's true.
He would.
Okay.
So that was one.
Alright. I also got some. Oh, that's different. Oh, okay. I've got a few different envelopes that I've combined into one mega envelope. Okay, so the first thing I got.
What is this?
It's this Gathering Eggs by Nora. So this Mirabilia pattern, Gathering Eggs, appeared in this Cross Stitch magazine, and it also is a pattern that you can buy independent that's out of print. The prices on it go like real crazy. So I got this with tax and shipping was $13, which is like less than a full Mirabilia pattern. I've seen people pay less for it in this magazine. I've also seen people pay $40 or $50 for the pattern of it, but there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason because of the two, like step avenue of it. I saw Dina, I think it was Dina on Half Stitch Cross Stitch. I think it was her. Show this as a finish. Love it.
Samantha Hugo Stitcher has that?
I don't know.
Somebody I just watched.
I just love it because I was thinking like I can't start too many more Mirabilias, but this is full coverage and it's Easter themed and I just love it. So whether I start it now or later, whatever, when I saw that nobody had bid on it, I was like, I'm gonna have it.
That's really cute.
So I got it for like, I want to say I paid like $6, but by the time everything was, then it was more. Okay. Oh, this is the balsam fir for, that's not exciting, but can't travel by itself. So, Rosanna from Bright and Dusty just showed this. Okay, so this is Butternut Road. It is also the same woman, Marriott Levitt Emblem, who does Lavender and Lace and Told in a Garden. It's very obvious that it's her, right? But this is the only Butternut Road pattern that I wanted. But I've had it in my 1-2-3 stitch cart, like, and then I'll put it on my wish list and I'll move it back to my cart, and I kept going back and forth. And then Rosanna bought a copy of this stitch, like saved a version of the stitch and showed it on her last video. And it was so beautiful that I was like, I have to have it. Plus, I hadn't thought about how it will look so good with my quilt maker, vintage quilt maker that I bought that's from her. Because the blues are basically the same. So I just love this pattern. I think I'll probably save it for next autumn because it feels very autumn. And my autumn this year is kind of full. But I just love it so much. And some of the ones from her are starting to go out of stock on 1-2-3 Stitch. And the lady who's supposed to be refilling that has been MIA for like 2 years on and not responding to people's stuff. So I'm kind of just like anything that's by her companies that I want, I'm just kind of like getting them slowly so that I don't run into a situation where you just can't get it. Like you cannot get Santa OlwForest. He's not supposed to be technically out of print, but you cannot get him.
But he is technically.
And that has driven the prices up so high. Everything else I got from 1-2-3 Stitch was stuff that like is for specific things you guys know about, but I'll go ahead and show it. So I got my chatelaine fabric.
Oh. It's quite large.
It's quite large. It's a half yard. If you do a 28 count, you need a full yard.
Oh,
so I did 32, which is the called for. I did 32 count, but this is vintage Stormy Night, which is a printed one. So I'm thinking it's 32, but because it's printed, I'm hoping it will be a true 32.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not getting a full yard of fabric. And I went with Lugana instead of linen, even though I don't love stitching on Lugana, but I figured with how like neat it needs to be to work as the mandala, that eliminating difficulty on slubs and stuff might be good.
That's a good idea.
So it's not my typical, but I'm very happy with it. And I thought about, Rachel and I went back and forth about our fabric choices like for 2 months, and we both like would come up with an idea and then they'd be sold out, or then you couldn't get it or whatever. So I finally got that and I'm happy with it, but it's different for me. And then in October, I showed this on my updated plans video, but in October I'm starting Small Gift it's by Imaginating, but the art is Mary Englebright.
Really cute.
I also saw this on Dina Half Stitch, Cross Stitch. It's charted on Black Ada, but I'm doing it on Navy.
Oh, okay. That's pretty.
Because I thought she was doing it. I thought it was on Navy this whole time, and when I realized it was black, I was like, well, I want it on Navy. I've been envisioning it on Navy, so I also got the fabric for it. But I just love it. So, Black Ribbon Stitch Studio, she is starting this. She gave me the date. It's in October, so she's starting with some other people. If you want to join in, I don't think it's on the salad or anything, but it's so cute.
It's very cute.
I don't have the DMC for it, but it's all charted in. I think it's charted in DMC. If it's not, I'll be doing it in DMC, but yeah, it's like 15 DMC. And then, this is my Frosted Tiny Town that I'm gonna do for the Make It Murder Sal. I'm gonna do it Fargo themed. I don't think I'm gonna do any specific like Fargo mystery storyline, but I'm just gonna generically Fargo-esque and make up a separate story. And I think I'm gonna take out the Santa and do a cop car. And I think I'm also gonna do some charms that are murdery, and then do like some other little changes.
Yeah.
But
fun.
Oh yeah, so mine came with these little snowflake buttons.
Oh, cute.
But I'm not gonna use them because I'll save that for when I do it.
Something cute.
Yeah. And then I picked up this the reason I had to place this 1-2-3 Stitch order is that my Christmas spell sampler that I'm working on, I had this panic that I was gonna run out of the Gloriana that the letters are done in, because I underestimated how much bigger 28 count, doing it on 28 count made the piece. And so this was been out of stock. So when I got a notification that was in stock, I was like, okay, so I have to buy that. So what are the other things that I know I need in the next few months just to get them all out of the way at the same time? And then, last but not least, the Come to the Garden Sulky Marumi Crafts Sulky conversion for Come to the Garden. I tried 2 DMC conversions. I didn't like either of them, and I just want mine to look on the dark fabric. Like hers is just special, and so I just used her conversion. Yeah. I really tried to avoid buying the Sulky, but this will be my first Sulky project. So I am gonna restart this now that they're here. Cool. And then, all right, that was my regular haul. And then I told you guys last week that I had vintage haul, and I couldn't show all of it in one go because I just had too much of it. So here's the other half of it.
Okay.
The Romance of Paula Vaughn. So Jen from Jen's Fiber Web and I have been joking, serious but jokey, serious but serious about doing a Paula Vaughn stitch along, but maybe next year. This book, it's like has 6 patterns, but then it tells you how to do all kinds of hilarious 90s and 80s things with them. So like it gives you this cross stitch pattern, which is so cute, right? Like very cute. Like her style, if you like her style, normal. But then it tells you how to make like a flower basket or a quilt, or like it gives you lots of different very 80s ideas for taking the, so I'm only interested in the motifs, not really like how to turn it into napkins. But it has 6 patterns. So that was one, and this book was $4 at a antique store downtown. That's one. That's very, like if you see that, it's very Paula Vaughn.
That's very sweet.
And the one I'm going to do for the stitch along is actually in a magazine I showed you guys last week. So if you want to join, you can borrow the book. But yeah, like this is very 80s. I should have marked them. But I don't need to do a flip through because it literally only has 6 patterns. There's that one. It's like gardening themes. Gentle pastime. Delicate beauties.
Okay.
It's about quilting and stuff. Image of the past. Allison's like, these are not my style.
They're not.
They're not really my style, but I love a lot about them, and I'm very excited to stitch one.
Yeah.
But would I cross stitch if this was the only kind of thing available? Probably not.
Yeah.
But this is more my style.
It's pretty.
Summer Comes Calling. The magazine one I have is very similar to this. So that is this Paula Vaughn book called The Romance of Paula Vaughn. It also has a lot of information about her, which I really liked. Okay, you haven't even seen me use it, Paula. So what happened was I bought a bunch from the thrift store, and then I had left a bunch, and I went back and got the rest of it the next week. Apples and pears.
Okay.
These were 25. Each of these were 25 cents. Apples and pear. I will not be stitching this, but we'll use it for a giveaway or something. This dimensions kit that is Purity, Strength, Truth. It's like a Buddha.
Oh.
It's very cool, but if I'm going to do a Buddha, I would just do a picture. I would just chart a picture that I already have of Buddha.
I see the moon, and the moon sees me. Very pretty.
It's very sweet.
I like it.
The Silver Lining.
Oh, that's pretty.
There's a few of the by this person.
Very pretty.
Okay, now this is an issue of Cross Stitch and Country Crafts. I think it has that. Yes. Okay. So I don't want to show the pattern, but that is Green Bay.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So if you next year, if you want to do a backer Sal, and you want to do something that's football but not football.
But football, but not football.
Yeah, the artist is. Oh, I know. I'm sure the chart. But anyway, that's why I got that magazine. Lapland Embroidery. The area is not called Lapland. I mean, there's a better, more politically correct name for this part of northern. It's called Sammy or Savvy, because it's like, anyway, it's a whole other thing. But it's very northern Norway, Sweden, and Finland, the indigenous people that live there, their designs as cross stitch. And there's some really cool ones in there. That was $1. Okay. Cross stitch Afghans.
Okay.
I know this is a thing that people like to do. I think it used to be a bigger thing, but some of these are really funny. But I got that for the ducks.
I like the ducks.
And it was 25 cents. I was like, if I stitch one duck. Cross Stitcher, the Cross Stitcher 2001.
2001? That surprised me. That did surprise me.
This is 92. The
Okay,
Cross
that
Stitcher
would be
92.
Thinking more along this line. Very funny.
This one's funny. Afternoon tea.
Aww.
Designs for your tea towels. I think if you omitted the words, the designs would look really good still. Quick and easy stitches.
Oh, a baseball one. Hmm.
Oh,
Oh, they're all different sports. Let's see if they have a football.
Jolly Old St. Nick's. Look, this pattern is like 5 Santas.
Wow.
But I like it. I like vintage Santas.
That does sound so good.
For the Love of Cross Stitch magazine. I love flipping through an old cross stitch magazine,
Yeah.
even if they're not ones that I have a ton of things I want to do in. But they all have something.
Yeah, very cute.
Country Stitch. Looks like Christmas. Oh, this one has cute little teddy bears.
The perfect holiday wreath, and it's all the cats.
Well, this one has a ton of Christmas stuff in it.
Alright.
This is cross stitch. What year is this? I don't even know. Definitely 90s. Oh, Apple Sampler. Probably won't be stitching this, but
It's not my cup of tea.
it felt like I should save it for 25 cents because it's probably giving away sometime and people will want it. But this for 25 cents.
That's really pretty. You can stitch that?
No, don't you think we should send it to somebody who lives in Oregon?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think it needs to. But I want to ask her first because sometimes you don't want the burden of something, you know. But this Peacock Dimensions kit, we'll check with Peacock Stitcher. She wants it before we decide what to do with it.
It's really pretty.
Thread and fabric only, no pattern. That's okay.
No fabric.
No fabric. She wouldn't use the fabric anyway, probably. So
She's a Lugana stitcher, right?
yeah. Broadway.
Very pretty.
Oh, I actually kind of like this one.
I do like that.
Oh, but okay. So whoever owned this before, I thought this was really sweet. Charted their own verse. That's the hymn. That's the actual song. You know the Eagle's Wings song that we used to sing in church that they always play at funerals. So she charted it herself on it. We sing that at our grandmother's funerals. I'm not gonna chart this, stitch this, but I had to save it.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that these have been sitting in that box for 10 years, you know?
I see that.
Seafarer's Delight. And Conch and Sand Dollar. A bunch of different seashells.
That's funny. Georgia Girl Stitches
They're doing
did
that?
something like that.
Well, if you owned a boat or are real into nautical stuff,
Yeah.
it's just there's a bunch of sea themed stuff. I would rather do a Mirabilia Mermaid, but I could totally see why you'd want to do that.
Yeah.
Look at these palm trees and pineapples. I think they're really pretty.
Oh, that is pretty, yeah.
But yeah, once I get my office finished and organized, I need to go through and see what do I really want to stitch. Like, what is there a 50% chance I might stitch and whatnot? And if there's nothing that if something that's like not something I want to stitch, I want to get it to people. But it didn't make sense to leave it at the thrift store. Red Hot Mamas.
Okay.
Red Hot Mamas. Those are wild. Okay. Antique Roses. These are really pretty.
That's very pretty.
EMS from the Firefighter and Public Safety series.
Oh. Okay.
So this, obviously we're not going to stitch this, but it's going to be somebody. If you, in the comments, if you have somebody who's in like EMS or you are, and you actually want to stitch this, let me know because I will send it to you. Because it's full coverage. But if that really is part of your life, I will send it to you. Louisiana sampler. There's some really funny things in here. Like there's some things that you probably wouldn't put in a book in 2024, but then there are things like catfish, and actually you can stitch that for Jared. Oil rigs and sugarcane. Like there's a lot of funny things in here. I needle little love.
That's so cute.
Little mice.
I like the mice.
Yeah, I got all of these booklets for $11 total. The Living Southland. I would not stitch the cotton, but the magnolia is very pretty. Southwest Influence. Stony Creek Heirloom Huck Towels. Some of these are super cute.
Yeah. Oh, those are pretty. I like the. Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking you could stitch one of those.
Be fun.
Oh, this one had a lot of really cool ornaments and things in it. This is Cross Stitch Plus November 91. On the back is all the things in it. Counted Cross Stitch Basket of, I don't know why I said Counted Cross Stitch, Basket of Fruits. Roses for Anne, another Afghan, but you wouldn't maybe put them as an Afghan. Signs of Spring. Allison's like, I just don't stitch old things. Cover Your Buns.
Cover your buns.
Bread basket towels, but the designs are obviously could be used for anything. But look at that sunflower.
Let me see. Oh, pretty. I would be more interested if it was like pictures of buns. Oh, it is. Look. What's that say? Bread chain.
But they're all pretty. They're just, I wouldn't use them for that specific thing. Dynamic Seasons. Oh, this is like a book about using Brit dye to dye stuff and then specific to these patterns, which is kind of cool. And it has a pattern for every season. But the mistletoe is really pretty.
Really pretty, yeah.
But it teaches you how to dye, use the Brit dye to make the dyed fabrics on the back. Because when this came out, there were not a lot of choices. Prayer of St. Francis. I feel like I saw someone stitching this recently. We're gonna have to do it as a giveaway because I know somebody would want this. To Everything There Is a Season. We're talking about like heavy backstitch lettering, very 1980s lettering, but it's very pretty. Some pretty bookmarks. A lot of bookmarks. Yeah. Just, a million bookmarks. I actually do want to stitch a bookmark. I think I'm going to stitch it from that, the new magical cross stitch book. Oh, Mary Englebright Cherubolis. These are funny. And then this one is Snow Friends.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. Some of these are really good. So anyway, for $11, if I stitch more than 2 things out of it, it's already cheaper than buying modern patterns. And I do need, I'm going to go through my patterns. I had done this last year, but now I have a lot more. I need to put giveaway, actually stitch, because there are things in here that people should just, if somebody really likes something, they should be stitching it instead of it sitting in my stash. And anyway, that's my vintage haul. All right, there's a giant mess in this area, but that's okay. Now we're gonna do our giveaway. So the winner of the $25 Etsy gift card to celebrate 4,000 subscribers was Marissa McConnell. So you can see her here. So yay, congratulations. Yay. And then for this week's giveaway, I thought since I'm almost done with Pina Palace and the price is going to go up, like, and whenever I finish and get photos up. And a few of you guys are stitching it too. I was thinking what I would do is I'd give away a copy of it. I'm just loving stitching on it so much, and it's like almost done, and it's looking so good. So if you want to win a copy of Pina Palace, Portugal #1 Pina Palace, a digital copy that I will email you, then in your comment, use the word yellow, because it's got some yellows. You'll own every shade. No, not every. Quite a few shades of yellow shall be purchased to stitch it. And then if you made it to this point in the video, first of all, thank you. Second of all, leave a
You're right. It's so good that we did the thank yous at the beginning. My brain is like, shut off.
Leave a
picture frame, because we're framing like crazy this week.
Anything with a frame, and if that doesn't exist, then
there's a little picture frame.
Oh, the picture frame emoji.
Picture frame
Yes,
emoji.
leave that emoji. And as our secret language that you made it to this point in the video. Next Monday will be part 1 of our finished parade. The next week will be part 2. There will be tutorials out those weeks. We don't know what they'll be. Thursday, look for our flip through of Magical Cross Stitch, which we're very excited about. And then, but we'll be back with a full floss tube in 3 weeks. And it can't be longer than this one. That's all I'll say. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.